Your brain is literally sabotaging you right now, and you don't even know it. Here's why you can't stop overthinking, and 7 psychology-backed ways to fix it. Hey everyone, welcome to Mind and AI. I'm here to help you understand your brain using psychology and free tools. Today, we're tackling overthinking, something 90% of people struggle with. I'll show you 7 psychology-backed tips that actually work based on real research. No fluff, just science. Let's dive in and see how it works. Overthinking falls into 2 categories. Number 1, ruminating, rehashing the past constantly, asking yourself, what if I had done that differently? Or why did I say that? Number 2, worrying, making catastrophic predictions about the future, asking yourself, what if this happens? Or what if I get fired? Both are exhausting. Both anxiety and depression increase. Research shows overthinking leads to increased stress levels. Here's the problem. Your brain thinks it's helping you solve problems, but it's actually making everything worse. Here's why your brain overthinks. Reason 1, fear of uncertainty. Your brain hates not knowing what's next. It tries to predict every possible outcome, which is impossible. This creates constant mental chatter. Reason 2, past trauma. If something bad happened before, your brain tries to prepare by overthinking. It's trying to protect you, but it's overdoing it. Reason 3, perfectionism. You think if you think enough, you'll find the perfect answer, but there's no perfect answer, and thinking more doesn't help. Reason 4, stress response. Overthinking is your brain's response to increased stress. When stressed, your brain goes into threat mode and starts overthinking everything. The bottom line? Overthinking isn't your fault. It's your brain chemistry working against you, but you can fix it. Tip number 1, the 5-second decision rule. Your brain has limited decision energy per day, about 40 decisions total. When you give yourself unlimited time to decide, your brain uses more energy analyzing options. Your brain gets tired faster, and a tired brain equals more overthinking. More overthinking equals worse decisions, but 5 seconds forces an instant decision. It uses only 0.1% of your energy. Result? You save decision energy for the big choices later. Try this. When you're stuck on a decision, set a timer for 5 seconds. Make the decision before the timer ends. Then act on it immediately. What to eat? 5 seconds. Decide? Eat. What to wear? 5 seconds. Pick. Go. Reply to text? 5 seconds. Yes or no. Send. This works in 5 seconds. Do this 5 times a day, and overthinking is gone. Tip number 2, the worst then best flip. Your brain has an ancient error. It overestimates bad outcomes by 10 times and underestimates good outcomes by 10 times. For example, you think 90% chance I'll fail. That's anxiety bias. But the truth? Only 10% chance you'll fail. That's reality. Here's why 10 times happens. Your brain evolved to survive, not to be accurate. Missing one threat equals death, so your brain assumes the worst always. It's overkill. When you write all 3 outcomes, worst, best, and most likely, you force your brain to correct that 10 times error. Right. Worst. I'll fail and get fired. Your brain thinks that's 90%. Best. I'll impress my boss. Your brain thinks that's 5%. And likely, I'll be nervous but finish okay. Your brain ignores this. Then ask yourself, what's the actual probability? Most people realize worst case is only 10%, not 90%. That's an 80% anxiety reduction instantly. Why? Numbers force objective thinking, not emotional thinking. Try this. Take out your worst fear. Write best plus most likely. Calculate actual probability, usually tiny. Tip number 3, the 2-minute action snap. Your brain is divided into 2 parts. The body brain, which is your motor cortex and controls movement, and the thought brain, which is your prefrontal cortex and controls thinking. When your thought brain is overactive, overthinking runs free and anxiety spirals. But when your body brain is active, your motor cortex takes over. Your prefrontal cortex steps back, and overthinking stops. Action equals an instant brain power switch, from thought to body. Physical movement also releases dopamine instantly. 10 jumping jacks gives you 40% more dopamine in 30 seconds. Walking gives you 30% more dopamine in 1 minute. Stretching gives you 25% more dopamine in 1 minute. Dopamine is a good chemical. When you feel good, anxiety drops 40%. Less anxiety means overthinking stops. Movement equals instant dopamine equals instant relief. Try this. When overthinking starts, immediately do one physical action for 2 minutes. 10 jumping jacks. Walk around the room. Wash your hands. Stretch your arms. Clean one thing. Works in 30 seconds. Doing this 5 times a day equals overthinking gone. Tip number 4. The mental download button. Your brain has a trigger response. Physical action equals an instant neural switch. For example, snapping your fingers creates auditory and physical input. Your brain says, "What happened?" That's surprise. Surprise breaks the thought loop, and overthinking stops. Snapping your fingers equals an instant brain reset, like Control-Alt-Delete. When you say, "I'm downloading this to 8 p.m., your brain hears, "safely stored." Your brain says, "I got it, later," and you relax. Overthinking pauses. Why? Your brain has 2 modes. Open loop means, "I need to remember this." That's overthinking. Closed loop means, "I saved it, later." That's relaxing. Downloading switches open loop to closed loop, and overthinking stops. Try this. When overthinking starts, say, "Stop," out loud or in your head. Snap your fingers or tap your knee. Then say, "I'm downloading this worry to 8 p.m. Take 3 slow breaths. Then switch to any other task. Works in 30 seconds. 90% of people stop overthinking within 1 minute. Tip number 5. The evidence scorecard. Your brain is an emotional storyteller, not a fact checker. When you say, "I'll fail," your brain thinks 90% chance. That's emotion. But the truth? Only 10% chance. That's reality. Numbers force objective thinking. When you write a scorecard and see 3 out of 10, your brain admits, "I'm wrong." When you write 8 out of 10, your brain admits, "I'm right." Emotion equals 90% wrong. Numbers equal 85% accurate. Scorecard turns emotion into numbers, and that equals accuracy. The 4 questions cover every angle. Is there proof? That's a fact check. Has this happened? That's a pattern check. Am I ignoring good evidence? That's a blind spot check. Would I say this to a friend? That's a bias check. Together, that's 100% thought test. 1 question equals 25% accuracy. 4 questions equal 100% accuracy. Scorecard equals complete test. Your brain can't lie. Try this. Write your worry. Fill out the scorecard. If score is less than 5 out of 10, dismiss it as brain lie. 85% of overthinking thoughts score less than 3 out of 10. Instantly kills the thought's power. Tip number 6. The 5-4-3-2-1 grounding hack. Your brain has limited processing. It can process 5 inputs at maximum. 5-4-3-2-1 equals 15 inputs total. 15 is greater than 5. Your brain can't overthink. That's cognitive overload. For example, say 5 things I see. Your brain says chair, window, phone. It focuses. You can't think, "I'll fail," while counting 5 things. Overthinking stops. 15 inputs equals cognitive overload. Overthinking breaks. Overthinking means your brain is in the past or future, not the present. Past means "I failed." That's anxiety. Future means "I'll fail." That's anxiety. Present means "I'm safe." That's calm. 5-4-3-2-1 forces the present. See equals chair, window. That's present. Touch equals shirt, desk. That's present. Hear equals traffic, fan. That's present. Present equals "I'm safe." That's calm. 5-4-3-2-1 equals past and future to present. Instant calm. This also gives you 70% anxiety reduction in 30 seconds. It's clinically proven, used by therapists for PTSD. Try this. When overthinking starts, say out loud 5 things you see, 4 things you touch, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, 1 thing you taste. Takes 30 seconds. Stops overthinking instantly. Tip number 7. The Future Self Letter. Writing to your future self 1 year later creates distance from your current pain. Distance makes this smaller. 80% reduction. Smaller means less anxiety. For example, now you say, "I'll fail and get fired." That's 100% pain. But 1 year later, you say, "I forgot that." That's 10% pain. Distance equals 1 year equals pain is 80% smaller. Most problems are 90% forgotten in 1 year. I'll fail equals 90% forgot in 1 year. I'm doomed equals 95% forgot in 1 year. This is disaster equals 98% forgot in 1 year. Writing 90% forgotten means your brain realizes this isn't that big. 90% reduction. I don't need to overthink. Overthinking stops. Even if the problem happens, which is 10%, it's a lesson, not a disaster. I learned something. That's growth. I'm better. That's positive. 10% of lesson means your brain reframes. Disaster becomes lesson, which is positive. Fear becomes growth, which is good. Pain becomes benefit, which is relief. Try this. Write a letter to your 1 year future self. Include 90% forgotten, 10% lesson. Read when overthinking equals instant peace. 80% of people feel relief after writing this. Bonus tip: meditation can stop overthinking. Meditation relieves overthinking by clearing the mind, allowing calm. The meditative state, not mind, is induced by simple focus on breathing. You don't need to stop all thoughts. The fewer thoughts, the better. Any form works: guided body scans, nature meditation, loving or kindness themes. Research shows meditation improves mood and reduces depression symptoms. Try this. 5-minute guided meditation daily. Use free app Insight Timer. It's 100% free. Meditation equals 5 minutes daily equals less overthinking. Which tip will you try first? Comment below. I read every comment. And if this helped, subscribe for more psychology tips. Try tip number 1 for 3 days. Notice when you overthink. Then comment, "I did it. I want to see your progress." Subscribe for more video drops Monday. Thanks for watching. Remember, overthinking isn't your fault. It's your brain chemistry, but you can fix it. Subscribe for more. Next video drops soon. See you there.